Welcome back to another video on JavaScript CRUD series. So here you can see the last video we have sent one get all request to the mock API and bring up all the data. These are all the data that I got from the API and I have printed that in the console window. If you open it here, you can see we have almost around 9 record, and I'm going to use Bootstrap to populate all this data in the screen as a tabular column. To do so, I'll be just moving to the HTML side. I'll be having one division. You can use division or else section, that up to you. Okay, so I'll be just name it as a table. So within this table, I'm going to render all the content as a tabular format. So let's get started. Let me go to the JavaScript side, constant get all details. Okay, so this is going to be my arrow function. So within this arrow function, I'm going to call this. Let me move all those things as it is to the method. Let me create a constant base URL equal to whatever the base URL I'm having. This is the base URL. Let me just leave the API. And I will be using template literal syntax like this, and I'll be just make use of that base URL. Likewise, I can write some code. Since this fetch request present within the method, it is our responsibility to invoke that method as like this. By using this data, I'm going to populate a table. Let me create one more method. The method name is populate grid, and this grid going to accept a data. Now let me create one new method. I'll be just calling constant. I'll be just using it. Likewise, I can create it. By using the data, I can able to create the content, and this we call it as a DOM manipulations. As of now, we haven't discussed anything about the DOM. DOM is nothing but document object model. This object model, which is this nothing but we are representing the HTML file in the object representation. We will be writing some code so that I can prepare some HTML content in the JavaScript side and then inject that HTML content in this section which contains ID table. So that we call it as a DOM manipulation. I'm manipulating the DOM. So let's write some code. This is the data. You can see the structure of the data is nothing but array of object. Consider square bracket and then the object. Since it is an array, I can make use of data dot map. Map accepts a callback function. So what I would do is I will just create let content equal to empty, nothing. So let me have a content plus equals template literal. Now I will be able to create some HTML content within this element. Okay, so what I would like to create is I will be just trying to have div tag, or else I can go to get Bootstrap website. I would just search for the content table. So here you can see there is one tables, and this is the table. I will be just using the same. I'll be just copy this code. Okay, and then get back to the HTML. So within here, let me paste. So I don't need any of this tr tag. I can just remove the tr tag. I'll be just keeping this tr tag for the reference that I'll be explaining in a minute. Before that, let me change it. So we don't need this ID. Let me see what all the detail that we are getting in the response. If you open the response, this is going to be an array, and within that I'm going to have an content, and this content contain avatar, created at, ID, and then the name. So we have 4 different content. What I do, I'll be just keeping it as ID. I do have a name, and then I have avatar, and then created at. These are all the column I have as of now from the response. I wanted to populate that as it is on the screen. Now I'll be just copy Okay, I will be just copy the content, go back to the script. Within this, right, within the content, I'll be just pasting it. I'll be getting each and every record in the variable x. If you don't know what is this map is just the function can work only with the array type. Since I'm getting data in the format of array, I can use map. I will be just looping through the content and I'll be doing whatever that I wanted to do with exact object. Here, instead of this one, I'll be using template literal syntax. So x is the variable that actually hold the exact object. Then I'll be just replacing each and every data with the exact data that I wanted to populate. Dollar curly braces x dot, and then we can put any name. I'll be just using avatar. I think it should be small a if I'm not wrong. Can say I'm having avatar. After this, I'll be just using some created at dollar x dot created at should be capital A, and the same should follow here, so that a at. Let's see if it can be created or injected into the table. You can see nothing is been added. This is just to the dummy record that present in the HTML content itself. What I'm going to do is, let me remove this table content as well. We don't need this anymore because we are going to inject the content. ID table content. In the JavaScript side, after this map, okay, once all the manipulations, the contents are created, just query your document by using this method get element by id table content. I'll be getting the exact table. I just name it as table. I can use table dot inner HTML equal to my content. So content spelling is wrong, just give me a moment. Now we have just inserted some content into the table. In the browser screen, you can see that I'm getting the data. I'm getting ID, name, avatar, and then the created at. This is how we will be populate the data on the screen. I have this content. First and foremost, this is a date. I'll be just converting this date data into date. Okay, passing it into the constructor, and then I'll be using to local date string. So I'll be getting the data in the string format. So here you can see 22/10/2022. So this is how we can dynamically create some data and inject into the DOM element. Let me see if this image is valid or not. Can see the image is valid, so I can make use of that URL to populate images. So let's do that in the next video. Hope you like this video. Please go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you have any queries and if you need any more videos on these topics. Till then, bye, take care.